Hello guys, welcome back once again to this channel Aspire to Atten. In this lecture series or in this video, we shall learn the famous poem of William Wordsworth, and the name of the poem is A Slumber Did My Spirit Chill. If we look into the time of the composition, we must have to mention that this poem was first written in 1798. Again, I am repeating the time 1798, whenever Wordsworth was sojourning in the house of S.T. Coleridge. Here, William Wordsworth was visiting into the house of S.T. Coleridge with his sister Dorothy, and whenever he was staying there into the house of William S.T. Coleridge, he produced this famous poem, A Slumber Did My Spirit Chill. Most of the critics are of the opinion that this poem belongs into the category of the Lucy poems. So we must have to remember one thing here, that this poem belongs into the category of Lucy poems. And in this series we find that William Wordsworth has written several poems addressing his beloved Lucy. So this poem is no exception of this. Rather, here we can find a nebulous image of the girl. We cannot clearly assert whether this girl is Lucy or not, but as most of the critics are of the opinion that this poem belongs into the category of Lucy poem, so certainly from their opinion we can say that if we take their opinion as substitute, as supplement, then we must have to tell that this is actually addressing Lucy, and Lucy is none but the beloved of William Wordsworth. So let's begin without much more wasting of time. A slumber did my spirit chill. I had no human fears. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. So this is the four line. Seal. Seal is quite important. And a seal means a barrier which prevents something to go out. We most often go to our shop and try to buy some of the materials which had seal, and this asserts us, this gives us a certitude that this has not been at all used earlier. Suppose that you are going to buy a can of oil, so what you will see there, you will see that whether the cork of the can or the bottle is sealed or not. So seal is simply the indication of preventing something to explode. Here many critics have given their diverse opinion about the meaning of seal. As per Christian mythology, we see that whenever death comes into the life of a person, he screams. Cause of his scream is that he could then see everything, and then his earthly or mundane eyesight becomes quite low, and he could see with the help of the spiritual eye. Then he can see the vast eternity. So here the poet is in a trance, and he sees that a slumber did my spirit chill. So clearly the poet indicates that a sleep came into his life. In a trance of sleep, he was totally allured, and he could see something that the common people cannot see. So what he sees has been said here in the second line. I had no human fears. The poet clearly now asserting that he had no human fears. But the fact is that whenever you are living in the mundane existence, you must have some fears. The fears are coming from your financial ground, from your social ground, or from your physical ground. So all the creatures living in the earth must have their own fears. But here the poet is giving us just a opposite idea, that I had no human fears. So this simply is the indication that the poet is in a trance. The poet is beyond the mundane existence, beyond the aura, beyond the boundary of the earthly existence, and he has a certain kind of spiritual existence in himself. I had no human fears. Just like the human beings, the poet does not have any kind of fear. She seemed a thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. And the next two lines are just the explication of fears. As a normal human being, when we see a dead body, we feel a certain kind of fear in ourselves. But the poet says that he had no fear, and the cause of not being feared is that she seemed a thing that could not feel. So here, a figure, a nebulous figure, a female figure, surely we can say that she is the indication. She actually refers Lucy. So Lucy seemed a thing. So Lucy is now lifeless. Lucy has been overtaken by death, and that could not feel, and as a result Lucy is just lying, just like an thing, just like a inanimate thing, just like a lifeless thing that could not feel the touch of earthly years. Whether you are touching the body, whenever you are just keeping the body, it does not matter to her. So the fact is that Lucy is now dead, and he has no tangible feelings. He cannot feel anything. He is just like an lifeless thing, just like an element. Whether this element is kept aside or kept any place, that does not matter. So therefore the poet is clearly asserting that the touch of earthly years, time may go on and go on, people may come and go, and everything may change, but the fact is that Lucy will never have her feeling again. So that means that she is now in eternal sleep. Now here comes last stanza of this poem. No motion hath she now, no force. She neither hears nor sees, rolled around in earth's diurnal course, with rocks and stones and trees. No motion has she now. So as I have mentioned that now Lucy is a dead figure, and she had no feeling, and here the poet is also asserting that no motion has she now. So in her body we can never feel any kind of motion, any kind of movement, no force, even there is no force of living again. So this means that within the body of Lucy there is not the no force of the blood. So that's why the blood are stagnant. The entire organs which are called as the force of livelihood has stopped. Whether it is heart or lungs, everything has stopped their work. So therefore, Lucy is not now feeling any kind of force. She neither hears nor sees, and as a result, Lucy is now lying a dead figure with no kind of hearing capacity, no kind of observing capacity. So Lucy has no kind of audio capacity, and she does not have the power, the capacity to see something rolled around in earth's diurnal course, and he is now bound to roll round with the earth diurnal course. So whenever the earth is moving or rotating from one direction to another direction, Lucy is also bound to obey the earth's diurnal course. That means that he has no power. He is now into the grasp of the earth's diurnal courses. On with the earth, Lucy is now bound to roll on with rocks and stones and trees. Just like the rocks and stones and trees, they are stagnant, they are rotating with the earth. Similarly, Lucy is also bound to move on, is also bound to rotate on with the earth. So this is the summary of the poem.